We begin tonight in Abuja, Nigeria's federal capital territory, where former President Olusegun Obasanjo has lamented what he calls a failing state of democracy in Africa. Speaking at the 60th birthday celebration of former Imo State Governor Emeka Ihedioha, Obasanjo noted that democracy has been redefined on the continent and that what was once a system of government for the people, by the people, has devolved into a system that serves only a privileged few. Obasanjo added that African leaders have abandoned their responsibility to serve the people and have instead embraced a form of representative democracy that prioritizes personal gain over public service. The former president added that, quote, "Today we have democracy, which is government of small number of people by small number of people over a large number of people who are deprived of what they need to have in life," end of quote. A new political coalition is reportedly emerging to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress ahead of Nigeria's 2027 polls. Leading this movement is the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who recently announced plans to form a coalition of opposition parties. This statement follows a growing dissatisfaction with the current administration, with opposition leaders increasingly vocal about their concerns. The proposed coalition aims to bring together key political parties and stakeholders, including prominent figures like the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. 5 out of 12 inmates who escaped from a prison facility in the early hours of Monday in Kogi State have been recaptured. According to Abubakar Umar, the spokesperson of the Nigerian Correctional Services, the inmates who fled the medium security custodial center in Kotun Cafe tampered with the padlocks in a section of the facility, allowing them to escape. The acting Comptroller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Mr. Sylvester Nwakuche, says he has ordered a full-scale investigation into the circumstances surrounding the jailbreak. He adds that a security audit is being conducted across all correctional facilities nationwide to prevent future occurrences. But this is one jailbreak too many. At least 700 inmates have escaped from the same prison since 2012. That year, Boko Haram members attacked the facility to free 7 of its commanders. 100 more inmates fled alongside them. 2 years later, another violent attack on the prison facility led to the escape of 140 inmates. 12 were recaptured, while 1 died in the process. And in 2016, at least 13 inmates fled the prison, while in 2019, about 200 inmates vanished after floods wreaked havoc on the same facility. 100 of them were later rearrested. Then, just 4 years ago, gunmen attacked the same facility, freeing about 200 inmates. Only 100 of them were recaptured. So, is this a coincidence? Or is this indeed one jailbreak too many? We're going to learn about what's actually going on after this short break when our correspondent joins us from Lokoja, the Kogi State capital. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Tonight on News Central. I'm Adewale Adeyanju. On Monday, the Independent National Electoral Commission received a petition seeking to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan as Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Last week, the Federal High Court sitting in Lokoja, Kogi State capital, had set aside an earlier ruling that restrained INEC from receiving the recall process initiated by constituents of Kogi Central Senatorial District against Natasha. But in a landmark judgment delivered in Lokoja, the court affirmed that the recall process is indeed constitutionally valid and aligns with the civic rights of the constituents. Let's take a quick look at the process for recalling a senator in Nigeria. First, a petition signed by more than half of the registered voters in the senator's constituency must be submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. This petition should state the reasons for the recall and be arranged according to polling units, wards, local government areas, and constituency. Next, the INEC gives room to verify the signatures on the petition to ensure that they are indeed genuine and from registered voters. Next, If the signatures are valid, INEC proceeds to conduct a referendum within 90 days of receiving the petition. And for the recall to be successful, at least 2/3 of the registered voters in the senatorial district must vote in favor of the recall. Now, if the recall is successful, INEC then sends a certificate of recall to the Senate President, who then declares the senatorial seat vacant. A by-election is then conducted to elect a new senator for the constituency. Let's take a closer look at this story with Barrister Fred Nzeako, a constitutional lawyer. He joins me from Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Would you say there is a legal standing to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaha?
Well, the Constitution has made provision for recall of a legislator for National Assembly, Senator, House of Reps. The provision is as embedded in Section 69 of our Constitution, subsection A and B, which required, like you earlier mentioned, that at least 50% of it has to be over 50%. So let's look at, say, 50-point-something% of which 1% of the registered voters of the senatorial zone must sign such petition. I understand that about 480,000 registered voters in Kogi Central. So that means that half of that will give you about 240,000. That means more than 240,000 registered voter signatures are needed for that. And then after, INEC will have a responsibility to verify the signatures to ensure that they are not forged and fake signatures of the registered voters. That means it has to be matched against the database of INEC, because in inputting the registered voter details, they have to indicate their VIN numbers, that is voter identification numbers, their wards, and everything will be arranged in that order. The ward, the local government, and the senatorial level, the social zone, so that it becomes easy for INEC to verify those signatures. And if they are satisfied with the verification, then INEC will conduct a referendum. And in the referendum, the Constitution says in Section 69, subsection B, that simple majority of the voters, this time around, we are not talking about all the registered voters. The simple majority of the voters of that referendum will suffice to determine whether the recall will be successful or not. And what we mean by referendum is that some will be saying yes and some will be saying no. If the yes is more than the no, then the recall is successful. If the no is more than the yes, then the recall has failed. And I think why this has never been successful in Nigerian political history is the huge challenge and the problem of verification of the signatures. The social media was agog yesterday. It is still vibrating today that some people were seen in a particular room gathering and collecting signatures. And some of the signatories were induced to come and sign. They were asked to come with their voters card for them to come and sign. And many of them did not even understand what they were asked to sign. Some of them who knew what they were asked to sign voted out and said they were not interested. So it simply means that that provision of verification of signature is a very important one, because fake people could fill out that signature and then the wrong thing may be done by INEC if there is no such verification.
Does this look fishy to you, given the timing?
We always say that the fish, the witch cried in the night and the baby died in the morning, that there's a nexus. Obviously, the recall of Senator, the attempt to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaha is not unconnected with the brouhaha he had with the Senate President and by extension, the majority of members of the Senate, which obviously led to her suspension, which is being challenged in court. Now it is also being challenged at International Parliamentary Union of United Nations. She has gone there to tell the whole world that she was being manhandled by malevolent acts of most members of the Senate, and that she needed justice for her and justice for her constituency. And of course, why it further looks fishy is because not long ago, Senator Natasha Akpoti was celebrated when she rolled out a lot of goodies for members of her constituency in terms of empowerment, in terms of gifts, so much that some people of other senatorial zones became jealous of the people of her own constituency because she had so much to give that people were wondering whether she had to even attract some international aid and charity for her people. So people are now beginning to say, is it the same people that benefited massively from the philanthropic acts of Senator Akpoti and from her efforts to touch lives of members of her constituency? Is it the same people of her constituency that are lining up to recall her from the Senate and that it didn't add on? That means that it's still fishy and there's a lot of politics surrounding it. It looks as if somebody or some people or some group of people are anchoring this effort for her recall. She has said in very strong terms, as echoed by her spokespersons, that such a recall will fail. But whether such a recall will succeed or not, only time shall tell. But it is very curious that the people that she has massively touched their lives and is still touching their lives as a senator are the ones lining up to recall her from the Senate. It is really very preposterous and very fishy.
Should there be some kind of procedure that has legal backing to verify the so-called signatories that were collected for this petition? And should there be some kind of, if those people were found to have been coerced or misled or paid allegedly into signing those petitions, should they be taken to court? Because this is influencing the decision of the people in order to make them decide in a way that is, for some people, unjust, would you say?
While this process is ongoing, while the people, the political enemies of Senator Natasha are accused of pulling people around to sign the signatures for her recall, her own political supporters and her own legal team will be taking notes so that they will be taking pieces and bits of information that they will use to quash whatever effort the people on the other side are making. And one of such efforts will be to ensure that the signature verification is watertight. And I can tell you that it is obviously very difficult for such signature verification to be completely genuinely done. And if there are undoings in the process of gathering those signatures and the wrong people have signed or wrong signatures are appended, there are grounds for litigation. There are grounds for the court to quash the efforts of those who seek to recall Senator Natasha. Because it does not end with INEC activities. The court may be activated to also look into the matter, because if there are inconsistencies and if there are breaches of the provisions of the law and the procedures, then the court will be obviously be called to come and make a definite pronouncement one way or the other in that regard. So it does not end with the referendum. There are so many bottlenecks along the line. There are so many hurdles that they will have to pass. Apart from gathering the signatures will have to be authentic, and the authentication will have to be confirmed by INEC. And if INEC does a shoddy job in such a confirmation, then they have presented the ground for the court to quash what effort they are making. And of course, it is expensive for INEC because they have to bear the cost of getting all these things done, including the cost of running the referendum, which is like an election of yes or no. So INEC will have to be very careful on their own side so that they will not be seen to be willing to in the hand of political traducers of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan.
Before I let you go, how important is it for INEC to ensure that the verification process is free, fair, and transparent? Quickly.
It is very important because it will go to the credibility of whatever INEC has done, one way or the other, because at the end of the day, don't forget that after the verification process, they have to also conduct a referendum. And if they do any of those things in a shoddy manner, INEC will be called out once again by the people who will not take it lightly with INEC. So it's not just a body that these politicians are even once again on INEC. And by extension, after INEC issues, the court will be activated to also look into what INEC has done in the whole recall process, beginning from the collation of the signatures and the letter of recall. So INEC is again put on the spot. So if they fail to do what is right, then their name will now be ringing bell again on the side of infamy and on the side of inglorious conduct of the recall process. And I say it again that is because of these Herculean hurdles being presented in the process and by the Constitution that has not allowed this thing to succeed ever since 1999. Only one that succeeded in Benue State was quashed by the court. One House of Assembly member that was recalled, and it was shoddily done, and then the court said that it was wrong, and she was returned back to the House. Apart from that, no other recall process or effort has succeeded. And if I will look through a crystal ball, I dare say from hindsight and from the study of Nigerian electoral system, that this particular one will most likely fail. Not because I do not wish the Senate well, or because I am a supporter of Natasha, but I can tell you that none has ever succeeded, and I doubt if this one will succeed.
We're going to have to leave it there tonight. I guess we all have to wait and see. Wait for the INEC to do their job, and if it falls through, then we'll have to wait for the courts to do their job. Either way, it's a wait-and-see game. Thank you so much, Barrister Fred Nzelkwa, a constitutional lawyer, for joining me tonight.
Many thanks.
Coming up tonight, tension in Kano as the Muslim community prepares for the upcoming Salah celebration. We have more on this story and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Tonight on News Central. A reminder of our top stories. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and other stakeholders lament state of democracy in Africa. 5 inmates rearrested after 12 escaped in a jailbreak at Kotum Cafe Correctional Center in Kogi State. And death toll rises in Gaza as Israeli military intensifies attack, killing Al Jazeera journalist in the line of duty. Tension grips Kano State as the Muslim community prepares for the upcoming Salah celebration. At the center of the tension are 2 contending emirs, Aminu Ado Bayero and Muhammadu Sanusi II, who plan to hold separate Durbar festivals. This development is the latest chapter in a protracted emirate dispute that has been simmering for months. The emirate tussle, which is currently before the courts, has not stopped both emirs from mapping out their plans for the event. The situation is further complicated by the fact that the 2 emirs enjoy support from different levels of government. As the Salah celebration approaches, residents of Kano State are bracing themselves for a potentially volatile situation. The separate Durbar festivals planned by the 2 emirs could become a flashpoint of tensions for tensions, and there are concerns that the situation could escalate into violence. In In a separate incident, a pro-democracy coalition concerned Nigerians in defense of democratic governance has petitioned the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, over President Bola Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. The coalition has urged ECOWAS to intervene, citing concerns about the undermining of democratic governance in Nigeria and the potential destabilization of the West African region. The president suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy governor Ngozi Odu and all state assembly members for 6 months, with retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas appointed as a sole administrator. Away from politics, climate experts have called for more efforts mitigating against the closure of early warning gaps. This was as they converged on Abuja to mark the World Meteorological Day, saying that climate extremes will continue to take its toll on citizens if adequate warning of weather conditions are not given beforehand. Aladin Uyi has more.
Climate extremes have become more prevalent in recent years following global effects of climate change, with intense flooding in many areas exacerbated by torrential rainfalls to severe famine made possible by extreme water temperatures. Its effects on citizens cannot be overemphasized. Experts believe this will continue if climate change is not effectively tackled.
Climate extremes are increasing every time. You can see it all the time happening around you. And the only way to keep abreast is to make sure that our forecasts, our alerts are good, understandable, and implementable.
As the world celebrates the World Meteorological Day, experts converge on Nigeria's meteorological agency in Abuja, calling for more investment in early warning signs and closing early warning gaps. They say this is a worthy investment.
This year's celebration is themed Closing the Early Warning Gap Together. And that last word, together, we have to do it together. Reflecting a global commitment to strengthening early warning capabilities, investing in early warning systems not only saves countless lives and livelihood, it generates 10 times return on investment and strengthens economies.
The Director General of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency called for more proactive steps in addressing the challenges mitigating against effectively closing early warning gaps in the country.
Unprecedented weather extremes in the past few years is surfacing early warning gaps such as inadequate finance and access to latest technologies, uncoordinated dissemination efforts, insecurity, and the maintainability of early warning systems must be proactively addressed.
They call on stakeholders across the region to collaborate, especially in sharing data to boost efforts at effectively predicting early warning signs. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadin Uyi.
Global Media Entertainment, a non-governmental organization dedicated to promoting inclusivity, recently paid a visit to the Pacheli School for the Blind in Lagos. The visit, which was aimed at supporting the school and raising awareness about the challenges faced by visually impaired students, was marked by the presentation of essential gift items to the school. News Central correspondent Bettina Whaley has the full details.
The visit by Global Media Entertainment to Pacheli School for the Blind is a heartwarming gesture of support to a community that faces numerous challenges. Pacheli School, one of the foremost institutions for visually impaired children in Nigeria, provides education to hundreds of students, yet it is not without its struggles.
I'm also super excited and happy, and also the children, you can also see it from the children too, that they are very happy and excited and grateful. Since the place has been in existence over the years, the buildings are old, they keep breaking down from time to time. So we really need money to take care of the children and also to maintain the building.
During the visit, Global Media Entertainment presented an array of essential items that will contribute to a better living for the kids.
The company is so, magnanimous in everything that they do, that they want to be a part of people's life. They want to promote life. And so We looked at where we can go to make sure we're able to do, something positive. And we looked at the School of the Blind and said, let us come here and be in the shoes of these children that cannot even see. We see, they can't see.
Global Media Entertainment's visit to Pacelli School for the Blind underscores the importance of partnerships between the public, private, and non-profit sectors in the process of bridging the gap for persons with disabilities.
On behalf of the school management, staff and pupils of Pacelli School for the Blind, we express our gratitude for you coming here to visit us today, for you showing generosity to us, for you putting smiles on our faces today. We pray that as you go back to your destination, may the Lord guide you, protect you, and promote you in your workplaces. Thank you.
In Lagos, for News Central, Bettina Nwini.
Still ahead tonight, protests grow in Turkey and journalists are being arrested. We have details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us. The need to preserve family history through proper documentation away from oral tradition has once again come to the front burner. This was at the launch of the memory journal titled Dear Daddy, Dear Mommy, Let's Preserve Your Memories, published by Inked Memory. Correspondent Israel Iferable was there for News Central.
The event, a gathering of industry leaders, close friends, colleagues, mentors and partners of Otto Orandam, the convener, was filled with conversations on the preservation of the history of the family.
A round of applause, please, for the panelists.
The program was hosted by News Central's Adewale Adeyanju.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for her.
Chair of the occasion, former Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Amina Ogie, told the gathering what she feels about the initiative.
This is a wonderful idea. It's a wonderful thing, and we're hoping that when we launch it, that we go back and go back to because if we build a strong home, if we have that strength from home, if we are whole and full at home, when we go out, we carry it with us. What we carry is what we touch with others. If you don't have it, you can't give it.
Otto Orandam, the publisher of the book Dear Daddy, Dear Mommy, Let's Preserve Your Memories, said the idea of the book came from a place of pain.
It's a very personal experience. It comes from a place of pain, which I would say has been converted to power, because I lost my dad last year. And losing him was a very traumatizing experience. He's one who told us so many beautiful stories. He had so much history. He was 83, actually almost 84. And we told him, Dad, don't just tell us the stories, write them.
Other dignitaries also shared the impression of the initiative and the need to document stories that will help sons and daughters connect the past, shape the present, and help with a better understanding of the future.
Today's event has been mind-blowing, to be honest, because the import of what Otto has established today will reverberate through several generations and will change the mindset of a lot of people. It will impact the measure of our recorded history. I think it's incredible. It's beautiful.
The conversations were honest, genuine, and authentic on the importance of keeping the family legacy alive through storytelling.
It has been phenomenal. It's life-changing, and I don't mean that just because I know Otto. I think it's very important that we document our history and that we actually lean on our parents to be able to understand what they've gone through, what our lineage is, and what our legacy will be. So this event has just been amazing. It just reminded me of how important it is to document history.
flagship journals for mothers and fathers would help our parents, old, young, document their stories. It has 360 questions across 10 chapters, one that would help you dig deeper into your family's history. And I encourage everyone to get a copy.
At the end of the night, the impact of life flowing through generations was reborn with the launch of the Memory Journal. In Lagos, for News Central, Israel Ifirobo.
Tonight, outside our shores, Israel's relentless bombardment of Gaza continues, with at least 61 Palestinians killed in attacks across the Strip over the past 24 hours. 2 Palestinian journalists were among those killed in the airstrikes, including a reporter with Al Jazeera, Mubashir, whose car was blown up in northern Gaza. Israel's renewed assault comes hours after it bombed Nasser Hospital in Gaza, killing at least 2 people, including Hamas leader Ismail Bahoum. Gaza's health ministry says at least 50,082 Palestinians are confirmed dead and 113,408 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza since October 7 last year. Turkish authorities have arrested some journalists at their homes in a crackdown across the country. This is amid growing protests over the jailing of Istanbul's mayor, a top rival to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. A court on Sunday formally arrested Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu and ordered him jailed pending a trial on corruption charges. His detention on Wednesday sparked the largest wave of street demonstrations in Turkey in a decade. This disc-basing is Media Workers Union. It says at least 8 reporters and 40 journalists were detained in what it called, quote, an attack on press freedoms and the people's right to learn the truth. It called for their immediate release.
İşçiler sendikasız, köylüye, emekçiye adil bir düzen kuracak mıyız?
We'll be looking at business news, sports and entertainment after this short break. Do stay with us. And it's time for some money talks with Joanna, who joins me from our business desk. Joanna, I hear that maritime workers agitating for pay raise have finally got their wish.
Yes, and who doesn't like the sound of that? 200,000
smile on my face, yeah?
yes, you're trying to tap into it. But yes, 200,000 naira minimum wage for maritime workers, that's what we're talking about. I'll bring you the details of that and much more on Business Tonight after this break.
Business News in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
All shipping companies operating at Nigeria's seaports have now agreed to a 200,000 minimum wage for maritime workers. This follows an initial holdout by Hull-Blyth Nigeria Limited. The company, which previously claimed exemption from the agreement, has reversed its stance after discussions with the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. Outgoing MWUN President Adewale Adeyanju confirmed that Hull-Blyth acknowledged the deal in writing and a meeting sealed the agreement. Implementation is now underway through the Nigerian Shippers Council, ensuring wage increases for workers. Adeyanju also highlighted the union's battle against the Port and Harbour Bill as a key challenge. And United Bank for Africa PLC posted an impressive financial result for 2024, with profit after tax rising by 26.14% to 766.6 billion naira from 607.7 billion naira in 2023. Profit before tax also climbed 6.1% to 803.72 billion naira, despite global economic challenges. The bank proposed a final dividend of 3 naira per 50 kobo share for the year ended December 31st, 2024. 2024, reflecting strong performance and shareholder returns. The results filed with the Nigerian Exchange Limited highlights UBA's resilience and sustained growth across key financial indicators. And of course, we saw this reflect on the NGX today. Positive sentiments to kick off the week, buying interest in banking stocks. That's what we saw on the NGX today. All share index, the market capitalization gained about 369 billion naira. So we're seeing it there. The market capitalization at 369 billion naira. We also saw the all share index go up 56 basis points. That's 105,551.39. That is what we're seeing. And of course, it all trickles down into sectoral performance. Banking sector is up with UBA's announcements, earning announcements, announcements of dividend payouts. All banking stocks were in the green today, aside Sterling, and we're seeing that significant 3.78% increase in the banking sector. Insurance is down 1.49%. Oil and gas is up marginally, 0.39%. Consumer goods as well up marginally, and industrial goods pretty much flat. It's a good way to start the week. We'll see what goes on as the week progresses. That's it on Business Tonight. I am Joanna Mustafa. Tonight continues with Adeshewa.
And we have the latest sports stories with Favor here from our sports desk. Favor, I hear President Tinubu is to launch the National Sports Festival and pass around the torch across the Federation.
Yes, a fantastic one on Tuesday. We look forward to the Unity Torch getting to the presidential villa and going across the 36 states right here in Nigeria. Many more after this timeout.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will officially launch the Unity Torch movement on Tuesday, March 25th at the presidential villa in Abuja, according to the National Sports Commission. The Unity Torch, symbolizing peace and unity, will travel to all 36 state capitals to promote national cohesion and set the stage for the 22nd National Sports Festival. The nation's premier multi-sport event will bring together athletes from across Nigeria to compete, showcasing talent and fostering unity through sportsmanship. Zonal eliminations took place a few weeks ago as state contingents jostled for slots to compete at the main event. The NSC also confirmed that the Gateway Games will take place in Abeokuta, Ogun State from May 16th to 30th, 2025, marking the highly anticipated return of the festival. Away from there, Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpeholo has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to sports development as he received the Unity Torch for the inaugural Niger Delta Sports Festival on March 24, 2025 at the Government House, Benin City. Represented by the Deputy Governor, Honorable Dennis Daosa, the Governor assured the Edo State Sports Commission of continued support, emphasizing the government's focus on nurturing local talent. Edo State Sports Commission Chairman, Honorable Hamadin Desmond Enabulele, highlighted the thorough preparation, starting with local government trials, and expressed confidence that Edo's athletes are poised to excel at the upcoming festival in Uyo, Akwa Ibom from April 1st to 8th, 2025. The event aims to foster unity, talent development, and regional economic growth. And out of football, Akwa Ibom State Governor Umo Eno has purchased 30,000 tickets for fans ahead of Nigeria's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Zimbabwe at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on the 25th of March. The state's Commissioner for Sports, Elder Paul Bassi, announced the gesture on Monday, emphasizing its aims to mobilize support for the Super Eagles. Fans can collect the free tickets from designated distribution centers, including radio stations, Uyo Township Stadium, and of course, Ibom Plaza. Authorities have warned that no tickets will be sold and entry without one is prohibited. Security agencies have been alerted to ensure compliance with FIFA, CAF, and NFF regulations for the international fixture. Still talking football, Eritrean referee Teklu Mogos Sige will be at the center when the Nigerian Super Eagles host Zimbabwe Warriors in Uyo on Tuesday. The match will be the third in 2026 World Cup qualifiers that Sige will be officiating. He was the center referee in Lesotho's goalless draw with Benin Republic and Mozambique's 2-1 defeat of Somalia. A few years ago, he officiated Enugu Rangers' 2-1 defeat of Lesotho's Bantu FC in the 2019-2020 CAF Confederation Cup duel, which the Nigerian side won 2-1. Now, Sige will be assisted by compatriots Ayobel Mitchell and Mignis Sirac Samuel. Ghana Prosper Harrison Ado will be the commissioner, while Pauline Ebodo from Burkina Faso will serve as referee assessor. And that wraps it up on Sports Update. And Favor Itua. The news continues with Adeshawa.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile. Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
And now in entertainment, the nominees for the 11th edition of the African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, the AMVCAs, have dropped. For those who are wondering, it's like Africa's Oscars. And here's the big news. Femi Adebayo's film 7 Doors leads the pack with 9 nominations. Now, Yoruba folk story Lisabi, The Uprising, has 7 nominations, and Kunle Afolayan's Anikulapo, Rise of the Spectre, secured 5 nominations. Now, the AMVCA honors excellence in acting, production, directing all across Africa, and it's going to take place on the 10th of May, so we don't have to wait too long to see who wins what. This year's awards, of course, also recognize the growing impact of online content creators across Africa. Now, earlier today, we spoke with E.O. Prosper, who is a first-time AMVCA nominee in the Best Digital Content Creators category. He's excited and positive, although some categories like this are up to the votes from the public. 11 voting categories to be precise. Now, the other major categories like Best Director, Best Actor and Actress, Best Supporting Actor and Actress are the most coveted, yet super competitive. I mean, the likes of Bimbo Ademoye going head-to-head against Chioma Chukwuka for Best Actress, and Best Actor Adedimeji Lateef for Lisabi, Femi Branch for his work on House of God, which I saw was phenomenal. Then, of course, Richard Mufedamijo, amongst others. For the first time, they're awarding Best Music Score, a testament to the power of good music and its composers in the film's success. Pan-African thriller Skeleton Coast got a nomination there. 7 Doors again. Toronto International Film Festival nominated film Freedom Way, Soft Love, amongst others. Now, for what we see, it seems this year's awards is another step towards more inclusivity. It's also interesting to see that a majority of the nods went to epic films, historic stories that reflect our indigenous language and culture. It seems like it's a new cool. Or maybe it's our shot at getting an Oscar, so I guess we'll wait and see. But the full, of course, nominations list would include Best Cinematography, Best Sound and Design, Best Costume Design, and many more. Now, the AMVCA celebrates the diversity and creativity of African entertainment, both on screen and online. So, come the 10th of May, we'll know who takes what home and who doesn't. Of course, I'm sure News Central will be live there to bring you all the action.
So what are you wearing?
What am I wearing?
That's why everyone seems to remember.
I have a little.
Don't come for me.
I can't tell anybody except you. I'll show you. It's a little revealing, though.
Oh, God. Okay.
This one's shocking news. Actor Isaiah Stokes, known for his role in Law and Order Special Victims Unit and Blood or Blue Bloods, has been sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for the 2021 murder of Tyrone Jones. Now, Stokes was convicted earlier this month on charges of second-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz issued an official press release detailing the conviction, saying justice has now been served for the premeditated murder perpetrated by this defendant, and he will now spend 25 years to life as a direct consequence of his criminal actions. The conviction followed a 2-week trial. Now, Tyrone Jones was shot and killed in Queens, New York on February the 7th, 2021. And according to authorities, the murder was believed to be a retaliation for an earlier altercation between Stokes and Jones at the victim's birthday party back in October 2020. Isaiah Stokes, who has been acting professionally since the mid-2000s, first appeared on television in 2006 with 2 episodes of Rescue Me. His credits include Law and Order, The Americans, Louis, and Blue Bloods, amongst others. Well, this one's sad, but you know how they say innocent until proven guilty. So
absolutely.
If the court does say he's been charged and he's guilty, well, 25 years is a lot, though.
Does he get parole?
I don't think so. To life.
It's a life. Well, life. Sometimes they say life without parole, but I don't know. That's insane. But I was just looking up 7 Doors. Yeah, now I will.
I'll
go see the trailer and see where that takes us.
You have to see it. Well, those are no doubt the biggest source in entertainment. This is all for entertainment.
And that's the news tonight. But before we go, here's a reminder of our top stories. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and other stakeholders lament state of democracy in Africa. 5 inmates rearrested after 12 escaped in a jailbreak at Cotton Cafe Correctional Center in Kogi State. And death toll rises in Gaza as Israeli military intensifies attack, killing Al Jazeera journalists in the line of duty. Please send your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number coming up on your screen. Follow us on all social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. You can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, GoTV channel 23, Star Times channel 274, AVO TV, and on YouTube. We would like to say thank you for watching. I am Adewale Adeyanju.